Hi everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel, Mom's the Word. I'm Eva Danielle, and my son Gabe is somewhere doing 3-year-old stuff. But anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video. As I alluded in our update video that you may or may not have seen, I wanted to kind of do a vlog. You know, I still don't know how to say that. Anyway, I wanted to kind of do a vlog that kind of I guess explain why we've kind of been MIA over the last few months. As you may or may not know, we are expecting our rainbow baby girl this August. And so, oh, sorry, I see a cardinal outside the window. Really pretty. But we're expecting our rainbow baby girl. And so it's been a very exciting time as well as a very nerve-wracking time. And I just want to be honest, it's been more nerve-wracking than exciting. But as we draw closer to her impending birth, you know, the butterflies are kind of going away, but we've had a few hiccups and scares along the way. So with that being said, not sure if you guys recognize I'm in a whole different backdrop, and that is because I am at my parents' house because I am on what they call modified bed rest. I guess it'd be really a lot better to be on modified bed rest than total bed rest. However, as we all know, there's no place like home, and while I love my parents' home, and they've been taking great care of me and Gabe at the same time, you know, you kind of miss being in your own home. So anyway, you might ask, why are you on modified bed rest? Well, I guess it was a couple weeks ago, I actually went into preterm labor. I was about 32 weeks, going on 33 weeks, and I started to feel actual contractions. They weren't Braxton Hicks. I'm kind of used to what contractions feel like, considering this is my second time around as a mom, and I was also used to what Braxton Hicks felt like, and they were totally different than Braxton Hicks. They were actually painful. They took my breath away. They were coming extremely close, and overall it didn't feel right. And so what ended up happening was I actually went to my normal doctor's appointment, and I expressed to her some of the things I was feeling. Well, let me back up. I'd been to the hospital the previous week, again with the same feeling, and they just kind of chalked it up to irritable uterus, which, you know, I know what my body feels like, but they were the experts, so I kind of did, you know, as they said, kind of take it easy, you know, drink lots of fluids, all that good stuff. So anyway, they never went away. And so when I went to my doctor's appointment the following week, she actually put me on the monitor and saw exactly what I was talking about. She actually checked me, and I had begun to efface as well as dilate, and I was only 32 weeks. And so at that point, she made the decision to go ahead and admit me. And so I was admitted to what they call the antepartum unit, which they specialize in keeping the baby in as long as they can, versus the prenatal unit or the labor and delivery unit, where, you know, you're ready to kind of get the baby out. But with the antepartum unit, you have women that are there for a few days and some that are there for a few months, just depending on their condition. So luckily I was only there for about 4 days, but it was a tough 4 days. You know, I was nervous, didn't really know what was gonna happen. I knew I was in good hands, but, you know, I'm human, and so, you know, you just won't really know. So during that time, I received what they call a magnesium drip to help to ease the contractions. I also received a steroid shot to help the baby's lungs to mature faster. And I also started taking a medication that is often used to stave off contractions called Procardia. And so with all 3 of those things, you know, after 4 days with no further dilation or effacement, I was able to leave. And so we've been doing pretty good since we've been home, but their main concern was that, you know, I still kind of tried to take it easy. In my actual home, we have a lot of stairs, and so being that I'm not on bed rest but modified bed rest, the recommendation was that I only go up them once a day. And with the 3-year-old, that just wasn't going to happen. So we felt like the best thing for me was to come to my parents' house, where although they do have stairs, there is a room that Gabe and I utilize very often when we do stay over here, and it's on the main level. It's got the kitchen, got the bathroom, so I don't have to go up and down the stairs all day. Plus I get help with him, and it's just a lot easier while I get closer to either carrying the baby full term or delivering on my actual due date or somewhere close to it. So yeah, some of the other things that I've been making sure that I've been doing, in addition to taking my Procardia every 6 hours, is that I make sure that I stay hydrated. Now, I was always an avid water drinker throughout this pregnancy. I drank a ton of water already, ate a ton of watermelon, ate fruits that were high in water, but I always make sure now that I get at least 5 of these in me a day, just to make sure that if there was any doubt whatsoever that I was hydrated, there is none. And so there's been one more scare, actually. It was on the day of our anniversary that I started to have contractions again, and the first thing they said was, "Are you hydrating?" And I can say beyond a shadow of a doubt, yes, I am hydrating. I'm drinking 5 of these a day at least, in addition to watermelon and other things that actually do allow for you to hydrate yourself. And so yeah, that's my experience with preterm labor so far. I think I've been blessed that it didn't progress and that they were able to stop it. So that's basically twice now. The second time around, I just got pumped full of fluids, and also taking the Procardia. I had then dilated to 1.5 and effaced about 70%, but we're still holding and she's still baking. So I'm really thankful for that. I'm still trying my best to take it easy, although y'all, again, with 3-year-old, that's extremely hard. But I am limiting, my up and down all day, limiting my driving. I'm not doing stairs. So while I'm not as active as I used to be, I'm not on total bed rest to where I'm not moving around at all, because I still do think, and my doctors agreed, that it's important to stay mobile, to still keep the blood flowing. And so fortunately we didn't get to the point where we had to do total bed rest, but nevertheless it was still a little scary to have to deal with that. Still not quite close to term, but I had kind of reconciled in my mind that even if it wasn't, she was still at a decent point to where she had developed sufficiently, and she may have had to spend a little time in the NICU, but at the end of the day, she's still in there, she's still healthy, we're still baking, and we are fortunate and blessed. So anyway, I didn't want to make this a long drawn out video. Besides that, I would say that I did have a lot of nausea throughout the pregnancy. I did have another instance where basically my gallbladder really slowed to a crawl and was producing sludge. And if you've ever had issues with your gallbladder, whether you're pregnant or not, you know that that is a painful thing to deal with. And so I kind of had to overhaul my diet. My diet wasn't horrible, but I like fries and fried chicken and stuff like that. And so basically I really had to limit my intake of fatty foods. And so it's helped tremendously, and I actually lost a little bit of weight during this pregnancy. I wasn't able to partake in some of the things that we kind of, I'm pregnant, so I'm gonna do it. We kind of normally do, or at least me anyway. But yeah, I felt a lot better since I made that dietary change, and hopefully once she's born it won't be an issue, because as I understand it, some people can begin to have all kinds of issues when you're carrying a little one, and just because I didn't have it the first time around with Gabe doesn't mean I won't have it with her. So anyway, when you add the nausea, the gallbladder issue, and then the preterm labor, it's just been a busy time. But as always, I like to share the good, the bad, and the downright ugly, just in case there's somebody else who's going through the same thing. Yes, if you've gone through it, let me know what your experience is. Like I said, I did the magnesium drip when I was in the hospital, as well as the steroids, as well as the Procardia, and I'm making sure that I, hydrate, and I get, adequate rest. So if you have something else that you recommend or that a doctor recommended to you, I'd love to hear about it. And that's not to say that, whatever regimen you may be on is not good, or whatever regimen I'm on is not good. It's just, this is what's working for us right now. So I always like to put that out there, and that I'm not a doctor. You know, I'm simply doing what works for me, and I'm just sharing with you guys just in case, you know, you might get some further information. So anyway, I just wanted to come and give a quick vlog. One day I'm gonna learn how to say it right. A quick vlog as to you know, my journey so far with this pregnancy, and some of the not so fun times we've had. But yeah, if you've got any questions, if you've got any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments box, and I will do my absolute best to respond to each and every one of them. And as always, we sincerely thank you for watching, liking, and subscribing, and also telling a friend. And yeah, so we'll see you on the next video, and until then, have a good one and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.